Hey guys, we're back with another week of the A Game. 3 Mountaineers from the women's basketball team and 1 from the men's basketball team made the All Sunbelt preseason team.
Stay tuned as we bring you a recap of this week in App State sports. App State football suffered their first Sunbelt loss to Georgia Southern.
We've got Mountaineer Spotlight host Jay Boyd in the studio today, and stick around for our Player of the Week. I'm Austen Lopp.
And I'm Gray Salter, and this is the A Game.
Former number 25 Appalachian State football had its first Sun Belt Conference loss of the season on Thursday, following 34-14 at conference co-leader Georgia Southern. Anthony Flory had a team-high 10 tackles for the Mountaineers, who were playing their first game as a ranked team at the FBS level. The Black and Gold lost starting quarterback Zach Thomas to an injury just 3 plays into the game, and second leading tackler Jordan Fair to a targeting penalty in the first quarter. Georgia Southern finished with 24 points off of 5 turnovers that the Eagles forced, and the Mountaineers were held to 288 yards of offense. Peyton Derrick and Jacob Huseman took over quarterback position the rest of the game after Thomas could not continue. Huseman connected a 4-yard touchdown pass to Malik Williams with 10 seconds remaining in the game.
This week's edition of the Q&A game out at the Student Union got pretty spooky with A Game reporters Brett Wiseman and Sam Foltz.
So it's spooky season, but it's also football season. If you were to pick between Freddy Krueger or Michael Myers to be on your football team, who would you pick?
Michael Myers.
I don't know who either of those are. And now I feel bad.
Michael's a good choice. I would agree with that. If you know anybody in the NFL, who's the scariest player in the NFL?
I don't know many, so I'm going to go with Luke Kuechly.
The only person I know is Roethlisberger because my mom likes the Steelers and I think he plays for them. So nobody else.
All good choices. Very spooky players.
We have a segment on Q&A today that we want to see you do a trick for a treat. So can you give us your best scary face?
Is that scary? I don't. Does that work? Does that count?
Terrifying. It's terrifying.
So it's spooky season, and if you had to pick between Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger to be on your football team, who would you pick?
I would pick Michael Myers.
Why?
I think he's bigger. Do more help.
What about you?
Freddy Krueger.
Why?
He's cooler.
Can you give us your best scary face? We're shaking over here. We are shaking.
All right, so it's spooky season, but it's also football season. So if you had to pick between Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger to be on your football team, who would you pick and why?
Freddy Krueger, and because I was always terrified of him as a child. So
He'd be a terrifying defensive lineman. Scariest player in the NFL if you know anybody.
I don't know.
Solid answer.
If you had to pick, who would you want on your football team? Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger?
I guess I would say Freddy Krueger because Michael Myers is pretty slow. He seems pretty big and tough, but I think Freddy Krueger could run past some people.
Yeah. If you had to pick the scariest player in the NFL, who would it be?
Oof. Scariest player? Baker Mayfield.
Why you said that?
Because he's raw. It's scary.
What about you?
I only know like Carson Wentz and Nick Foles, so one of them.
Solid choices. Baker Mayfield's pretty spooky.
Happy spooky season.
All right, Grace, so if you had to pick Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger on your football team, what you got?
All right, I think I'm going Freddy Krueger at safety because he can like get in your mind, so he can like get in the quarterback's head,
right?
Know where he's gonna throw the ball. He's got that like teleportation thing, like he could just get right where the ball is on the throw. I'm going Freddy Krueger at safety.
I like that pick. I'm thinking I'm putting Michael Myers at middle linebacker. That guy is a unit. He's averaging at least 25 tackles a game. MVP, no doubt. Absolutely. He's in the wrong calling. Killing people is wrong. Come play football and make a couple million, Michael. Let's go.
There you go. I like that. Those guys are pretty scary too, Austin, but who do you think is the scariest football player in the NFL?
I don't know, man. I think if I wasn't going to mess with anybody, I might have to go with Julius Peppers. I mean, he's 6'6", dude is just an absolute unit. He's got dreads too, which, that's just that look. He's got that look.
That predator look almost.
When he's got that helmet on and he's just looking at you, that is just a guy that I would not mess with.
No doubt. I think I'm going to go with Aaron Donald for the Rams. Pretty similar reason. Just big guy. I mean, I wouldn't want that guy running at me. That
for sure.
I think he'd lift me clean off my feet. So, no, I think Aaron Donald's going to be my scariest player. But coming up after the break, Mountaineer Spotlight host Jay Boyd will join us in studio for a special Mountaineer Spotlight segment.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back, guys. And this week we got a little bit of an unorthodox Mountaineer Spotlight. I'm putting the spotlight on my two co-hosts, Gray and Jay. We're going to talk about the Georgia Southern game this week. Couple questions. First, several factors the Mountaineers had to face during the game. Zach Thomas gets knocked unconscious on the field on the first drive. Jordan Fair is ejected for that targeting penalty in the first quarter. Peyton Derrick comes in as just extremely inefficient. Gray, what was the hardest thing for the Mountaineers to overcome in your opinion?
I would say aside from all the injuries and everything that happened, I mean, it's always tough to do that. But with football, you have to expect injuries to be a factor in the game. It was the turnovers for me, Austin. 5 turnovers on the day, 4 interceptions and a fumble. I mean, the Mountaineers just buried themselves pretty much right off the get-go from starting off on that kind of foot with the turnovers. And what that does is it gives the other team extra possessions, extra chances to score, and obviously it takes away that many chances for you. And plays like that shift momentum in a football game, especially at home for Georgia State in that one. So 5 turnovers for me, that was really the X factor when it came down to who was going to win that football game.
Absolutely. Jay, what was the hardest thing for the Mountaineers to overcome for you?
For me, I'm going to say the Zach Thomas injury. I feel like the defense for Georgia Southern really keyed in on App State's rushing attack at that point. They were bringing at times 8 guys into the box, really run stuff in App State, couldn't get much moving. And Peyton Derrick was kind of shaky passing the ball, couldn't really get the dump downs, the Darrington Evans that we're used to seeing at App State's offense. So I think the Zach Thomas injury was the thing that hurt them the most.
Absolutely. And so we saw that Georgia Southern triple option just absolutely rip apart the App State defense. Akeem Davis-Gaither, who's averaging 12.3 tackles per game before this game, only has 1 tackle. That Legion of Boone is unable to stop that one shot that Georgia took down the field, which led to a 57-yard touchdown. No recorded sacks. What seems to be the biggest issue that App State had with slowing down that Georgia Southern triple option?
I think the App State defense really struggled with staying in their lane and being disciplined. That's the number one thing against a triple option. You cannot be out of your lane. If you miss an assignment, they will get you for 20, 30 yards. And we saw that a lot from Georgia Southern on Thursday. You saw there was a long run play in the third quarter where the quarterback got a long run down the sideline for a touchdown there. And you could see Des Franklin cheating up to cover the running back. Just things like that you could see as the game progressed. Them cheating to get in the holes where they felt they needed to be ended up turning into long runs for Georgia Southern.
Gray, what about you?
I would say discipline, like Jay is saying, is definitely a factor. And just your ability to kind of notice misdirection. I mean, triple option offenses, those plays a lot of times take a long time to develop. It's not a play that, the ball's snapped and immediately it's going to the spot where it's intended to end up. I mean, triple option plays is a lot of misdirection. It's a lot of quick decision making throughout the entirety of a play. So, you might be disciplined at the snap, but if you're not consistently on your assignment throughout the course of that play, as it's developing over a longer period of time, there's going to be some kind of misdirection or decision that Georgia Southern can make to get the ball around you and find the space in your defense, especially coming from a team that is one of the best at running the triple option. They do it all the time. So if you can't have play endurance and discipline from top to bottom in a play, not just at the line of scrimmage when it's snapped, I think that hurts you, and it hurt the Mountaineers on Thursday night.
Right, and App State leading the nation with 3 and outs. That defense just really seemed to have like a different characteristic. It just didn't really seem to be the same. But let's talk about some offense now. We saw Peyton Derrick come in after Zach Thomas gets injured. He goes 3 for 12 for 73 yards with 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. He gets replaced by Jacob Huseman in the fourth, who goes 8 for 14 for 67 yards and a touchdown and also 2 interceptions. Does this inefficient play by the backups make you question Coach Satterfield's decision to keep Zach Thomas in late games, in blowouts, rather than allowing backups to maybe get those reps so they would be prepared in a situation like this?
I don't know. I feel like Satterfield's actually done a decent job this year of putting some of those backups in. I know a couple of the home game blowouts that App State's had. We've seen a couple quarterbacks come in and play here and there. I know the 72-7 blowout that they had at home, they were shuffling in some quarterbacks. It definitely did surprise me, though. I think App State is used to having that next man up mentality and having guys just kind of flawlessly and seamlessly step in, especially this year in particular, and just kind of fill roles and take on roles that maybe you weren't expecting on kickoff for them to have to step in and be a part of. And especially at the quarterback position, I mean, that's really tough. That hurt the Mountaineers Thursday night, as well as, you talk about quarterbacks getting in and getting reps, but the middle linebacker position with Fair getting that call, a pretty questionable call in my opinion.
Absolutely.
But that's the middle linebacker position is as important to fill as the quarterback position on defense. I mean, that guy is the quarterback of your defense, and I think the depth not only at quarterback hurt them on Thursday night, but at middle linebacker as well.
NJ, how do you feel about that?
I probably agree with Gray on that. I don't think that I'd so much question the quarterbacks not getting those snaps in those blowouts that we saw earlier in the season. Because for me, you have an inexperienced quarterback in Zach Thomas coming into the season. So for me, it's about getting your starter those reps and making sure that he's comfortable out there, getting him as many defensive looks as he can early in the season. So when it is later into the season, maybe 2 or 3 weeks down the road from where we are right now, that he's as comfortable as he is going into Sunbelt race through the end of the season and possibly a bowl game for the Mountaineers.
Absolutely, absolutely. Definitely got eyes on those bowl games. Coming up next on the A Game, we'll give you this week's coverage of men's and women's basketball, soccer, volleyball, and field hockey, as well as cross country. Stay with us.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Appalachian State men's basketball senior guard Ronshad Shabazz was named to the preseason first team All-Sunbelt on Thursday. Shabazz is a 2-time All-Sunbelt honoree, earning second-team All-Honors last season and honorable mention accolades for his efforts during the 2016-17 season. Entering his senior year, Shabazz tallied 1,481 points, ranking 11th in program history. Shabazz also ranks 7th all-time in career three-pointers made with 190. 3 Appalachian State University women's basketball student-athletes also landed on the All-Sunbelt preseason team on Thursday. Maddie Story and Bailey Plummer both made the All-Preseason second team, while Bree Stanley was named to the preseason All-Third team. This is the most players App State has had on all preseason conference teams since joining the league in 2014.
Appalachian State Volleyball posted a full sweep against South Alabama on Friday evening inside the Holmes Convocation Center. Emma Longley has posted double-doubles in back-to-back contests for the first time this season and the 5th time in her career. She recorded 18 kills against 3 errors for a .359 hitting percentage. She tallied a season best of 13 digs. Victoria Wilform posted 9 kills and Kara Spicer added an 8 with a .467 hitting mark. Becky Porter had a match-high 31 assists with 9 digs, and Emma Riley posted 13 digs for the Mountaineers. The sets were close for the Black and Gold, but the offense dominated with 42 kills against 19 errors and had 6 service aces. The Black and Gold extended its winning streak to 4 matches with a victory over Troy on Sunday inside the Holmes Convocation Center. The Mountaineers now stand at 17-7 on the season and 9-3 in Sunbelt play, which leads the Sunbelt and East Division. Emma Longley recorded her 3rd straight double-double with 18 kills and 10 digs. Kara Spicer had 9 kills and 5 block assists, while Lexi Kahut recorded 8 kills. Becky Porter tallied 40 assists while adding 8 digs, 7 kills, and 4 blocks. On defense, Sydney Farthing and Emma Riley each finished with 17 digs. The Mountaineers dropped the first set to Troy, but rallied back to take the next 3 sets for the win. App hit a .167 hitting average in the victory and tallied 53 kills. App State recorded 9 service aces, which was tied for the 4th most in a match this season. Appalachian State will return to action at 6:30 against Georgia State at home. The Mountaineers will play their final home match of the season on November 4th at 12:30 p.m. versus Georgia Southern. App State will honor their seniors before this match.
Appalachian State University women's soccer will conclude regular season play after suffering a loss to Arkansas State last Sunday at the A-State Soccer Complex. The last regular season game will be this Sunday against Little Rock at the Ted Mackerel Soccer Complex. A win for the Mountaineers would improve their season to 9-8-1 and 6-4 in Sunbelt play. It would give the Black and Gold its first winning season in conference play since 2015 and snap the Trojans' 6-match win streak. App State would move to 6-5 at home, the first winning record at Ted Mac since 2016.
Appalachian State University men's soccer suffered a 2-0 loss to Presbyterian on Tuesday evening at Ted Mackerel Soccer Complex. Both teams came out attacking on offense with 4 shots in the first 19 minutes of the contest, but the Blue Hose offense was too much and scored both goals in the first half. The men's soccer team then fell to Georgia Southern 1-0 on Saturday at Erk Park to conclude Sunbelt play for the regular season. The Mountaineers and the Eagles were engaged in a defensive battle, and both teams combined for 15 shots, but just 5 were on goal. Georgia Southern's Gonzalo Talavera scored the only goal in the match with 6 seconds left to give the Eagles the win. The Black and Gold were unable to capitalize on offense with just 2 attempts that were on frame and 5 shot attempts. App State will end the regular season at home on Saturday, November 3rd at 7 p.m. against Howard for Senior Day to honor Jake Chastain, Ian Bennett, and Felix Colemanthaler.
The App State field hockey team dropped a 3-1 decision in its final regular season conference matchup at Kent State. The Black and Gold fired 9 total shots, 7 of those strikes on target. 3 student athletes recorded 2 shots on goal apiece: junior Allie Williams, sophomore Verl Van Heerdem, and junior Michelle Taylor. On defense, Annette Jaros made her 5th defensive save of the season and moves her into a tie for 2nd place in App State history with 10 career defensive saves. The Elkridge, Maryland native has also recorded at least 5 defensive saves in back-to-back years for the Mountaineers. Appalachian will close out regular season play on Sunday at Bucknell. The Mountaineers lost in a 3-2 second-half comeback to the Bison. The Mountaineers trailed 3-0 with less than 5 minutes remaining, but the Black and Gold responded with a pair of scores to cut the lead to 3-2. Sophomore Verl Van Heerdem cut the hosts' lead to 3-1 when she netted a solo goal with 2 minutes remaining. Redshirt freshman Jillian Eulery registered her first goal of the 2018 season, trimming the Bison lead to 3-2. Freshman Inez Joffre notched her first career assist on Eulery's goal. App State will begin postseason play at noon on Wednesday against Central Michigan. The MAC tournament will be at Miami and Oxford, Ohio.
Appalachian State men's cross country team finished 2nd at the Sunbelt Men's Cross Country Championship with a total of 76 points on Saturday in Mobile, Alabama. Dakota Mendenhall and Gable Dersham earned all Sunbelt honors for the Black and Gold. Mendenhall and 2nd team all Sunbelt honors ended with a 9th place finish and a PR time of 25 minutes and 23.16 seconds. Dersham earned his 2nd consecutive all Sunbelt honors, placing 11th overall in PR time of 25 minutes and 36.34 seconds. With this 2nd place finish, the Black and Gold have now finished either 1st or 2nd at the Sunbelt Championship 4 times since joining the conference in 2014.
5 Mountaineers earned all Sunbelt honors from Appalachian State's women's cross-country team, and it captured its 2nd Sunbelt women's cross-country title in program history on Saturday with 45 points. The Black and Gold won its first Sunbelt title in 2016. Felissa Greeley was first for App State across the finish line, finishing 4th with a PR time of 17 minutes and 35.08 seconds. Izzy Evely finished in 5th place with a PR time of 17 minutes and 58.4 seconds. Both runners earned first-team All-Sunbelt honors, and Evely earned Sunbelt Freshman of the Year honors as the top freshman finisher in the conference. Elisa Sargent earned second-team All-Sunbelt with 9th place in a PR time of 17 minutes and 51.48 seconds. It marks the first All-Sunbelt honor for her career. Samantha Collar placed 13th, and Emily Fetters was 14th. Both runners were named third-team All-Sunbelt. This is Collar's first All-Sunbelt honor, while Fetters earns her 3rd.
And now it's time for our Player of the Week. This week, it's no other than outside hitter Emma Longley from the App State women's volleyball team. Longley leads the team in kills per game and is a dominant force offensively. She has the 4th highest percentage in digs and in blocks.
That's pretty interesting, and I'm not surprised to hear stats like that. Longley, definitely one of the leaders for that volleyball team. I actually have called some volleyball games for Appalachian State Radio, WASU Radio, and every time Longley is not only the best player on the court, but probably the best leader on the court. She's always keeping the players in check, keeping them motivated, and that App State women's volleyball team is having a really special season this year, and big props to Emma Longley for a lot of that. But that'll do it for us here today on this episode of the A-Game. We appreciate you listening. I'm Gray Salter.
I'm Austen Lopp. Be sure to check us out next week on AppTV. Thanks for watching, guys.